You know, I was literally going to go to IKEA. I was going to go to IKEA and buy a dining table, but I said, no, let me support a small business. I was frustrated because it literally got delivered as I was going out. And then I opened it just to like check if it was not broken. It was. And then I spent time with the customer service lady, and I was just already kind of like frustrated because this is the second time I've tried to get this table and it's broken in the same way. And I honestly feel like you guys didn't make an effort. Like, I feel like they just like sent me back the same table. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no level of care. What frustrated me was when the lady was like, oh, we can only give you a partial refund. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean you can only... I was like, can you please explain to me why I would only get a partial refund? And then we went back and forth for ages. And I was like, I just want my refund back. Like, you've sent me a table twice now and it's broken in the exact same way. Like, please, like, I'll return the table. Just give me my money. She's like, okay, she gives me a refund. She processes it, whatever. I'm annoyed. I go out, and because I had to pick up a few things like errands. Firstly, I had to pick up my pants, which I got altered. Really nice pants, cotton barrel-like pants. I just like them. I just like my pants. I dropped them on Monday. Today's Friday. 5 days. 5 days to take in the waste. I get there. I give the guy the receipt. I said, you said I could pick up on Friday. Here, it's Friday. I'm here. And he's looking around for like a good 10 minutes, and then he comes back and he's like, we can't find it. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean you can't find it? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, we can't find it, but, you know, usually it's like, oh, sorry, we can't find it. And no, he's just like, we can't find it. And then, like, okay. And like, yeah, okay, well, you better go looking again. Like, you know, and this is my first time using these guys. Honestly, I could have gone to like one of those chain alteration places that you find in every shopping center. I said, no, let me go support the small business. Let me go around the corner, blah, blah, blah. Give them my business, give them my alterations. And it was cheaper actually, but I see why, you know, like, and then another 5 minutes, he comes back and he's like, yeah, look, I feel like they just didn't do it. I don't know, like, so sorry. When did you drop it off? And I was like, I dropped it off on Monday. It's Friday now. Like, what's going on? You know, I'm trying to really be calm. Like, honestly, I'm not a very confrontational person. So I'm really like calm, and I'm just like, well, you can sense the frustration, obviously. Because also like, he's very cavalier about it. So that's also what's making me really annoyed and frustrated. Like, what do you mean? Like, what if I really needed these for like a really important event? Like, I don't, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you had 5 days to take in the waste. I'm not asking you to make me pants from scratch. You know, like, what if they were really important and I needed them by that day? You know, like, he just was so cavalier. Like, he just didn't care. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not gonna racialize it, but whatever. Like, you know what? Like, you get what I'm trying to say. And then he's like, oh, can you just come back like later? He didn't even tell me when. He didn't give me a date. Like, he didn't give me like, oh, it'll be ready by tonight at like 8 p.m. or maybe it's tomorrow morning. Like, so sorry. He's just like, can you just come back later? Like, I'm inconveniencing him with my business. I'm already frustrated, but then again, I'm trying to like, I don't know. Anyway, I've been having these little concepts, which is what this video will be, of like, who are you when no one is watching? And honestly, I'm not a very confrontational person, and I'm someone who has worked customer service jobs for a very long time. I try to be very like understanding and empathetic, and it's just like, people are different. You know what I mean? People are very different. People handle their business differently. Fine. I said, okay, fine. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Like, I'm the one that had to give him the day that I'll be like coming back, or like, you know what I mean? If I'm there tomorrow morning and they're not ready, oh guys. And then anyway, I was like, fine, you know what? Let me cheer myself up. There's an op shop, like a thrift store in America, that's what you call them. There's an op shop around the corner that I like to go to. Let me just go there. I go in, and that's where I got this. I'm meant to be talking, right, as I'm doing this. I go in there and I'm like, okay, let me just look around. I'm not looking for anything specific. Honestly, I just want to cheer myself up because I felt quite frustrated and annoyed. And so I go in and I notice that like there's this old lady like who works there, who was just pretending to sleep and like following me around. She was not sleeping, girl. If that's what you call sleeping, this place ain't very clean. You know what I mean? It's just me and like maybe 3 other people in the whole op shop. And so it's very quiet, but she's not following anyone else around. Like, it's just me. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm walking around like, I'm sorry, is there, like, what's going on? Like, I'm really, like, frustrated and annoyed. And she's, like, just, like, in every single aisle that I go into. She's right behind me, like, not even sleeping, just, like, staring at me. And I'm like, I've been to this op shop a few times, and this has never happened before. So I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm like, whatever. I'm just looking around, whatever. I try on a few things. I go to the book section. I'm in the op shop. I'm just in an op shop, guys. I'm in an op shop trying to find something to fill the void. And then finally, I like get really frustrated because I'm trying on a coat and she's literally like right behind me. It's like the stuff that horror movies are made out of. Like, she's just there, like just staring. I'm like, don't you have customers to serve, things to put tags on, bins to sort? Like, I don't understand. And then I finally turn around, like, I'm so frustrated. Like, she sees me look at her through the mirror, but then I actually physically turn around and I just stare at her, like, give her, like, the death stare. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you really want me to be the stereotypical black woman, I will be that. I will be that man. Do we have a problem? Like, you know what I mean? But I don't say anything. I just look at her. This is my warning. I give her the death stare for, like, a good, like, 10 seconds. Just stare at her. And then she, like, freaks out and then she, like, moves over to the aisle. But it just really frustrated me. I'm like, but everyone else in this store who doesn't look like me, by the way, just gets to walk around this it's an op shop, for crying out loud. This isn't Gucci. Like, ugh. Anyway, whatever. I was so annoyed. I literally just was like, I don't even want to give you guys my business. Like, if this is how you're going to treat people. But it's an op shop, you know what I mean? Like, they're all volunteers. The proceeds go to good causes. Like, it's fine, whatever. But like, I was just so frustrated. Like, anyway, I found this box. I buy it. Have a good day. Bye. And then nearby there is a spotlight. I go in there because I actually wanted to make jewelry, because I have a bunch of like beads and things like that. Whatever, I just want to make jewelry, so I want to get some jewelry making items in spotlight. I go there, sold out. The thing that I want. I spent at least a good 30 minutes in that aisle just looking, trying to come up with a plan B, but they just didn't have what I wanted, you know, and I just didn't want to waste money on like something I'm not gonna use or like know how to use. And so I already felt just like really frustrated, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's just like, it's small things, it's not the end of the world, but it's just like, I don't know, sometimes it's really annoying. Like, I don't know, a lot of these encounters and experiences that I have, I do really think they are racialized, and I do think that a lot of things, like, I'm just like not taken seriously, or like projections and assumptions are already just put on you, and it's like really frustrating actually. I think that that's like, it's been culminating over like a lot, but maybe in just this one singular day, it was just really frustrating. Yeah, okay, let me set up my thing so you can actually see how it looks. Video together. Honestly, once again, I still don't really know what I'm saying. It was meant to be like a more formal sit down kind of video, but I think I just felt really emotionally frustrated and drained today, and so I didn't want to record and sit down and like record the actual video. I'd written a whole outline on it. It was going to be, who are you when no one is watching? Because I've been seeing that line a lot lately. I think it's like a online thing, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it. I pretty much just want to talk about our generation's obsession with performance, or rather distancing ourselves from it, and how we're always aware of an audience, probably thanks to like, you know, obviously like social media. I was going to talk about that, and more than that, about us trying to form identities outside of the echo chambers online. But I don't know, honestly, now that through today's experience, I think I realized that more so for me, the opposite also can ring true. Who are you when everyone is watching? By the fact that I mean, like, today, I know I kept saying in the video, it's not racialized, but like now that I really sat down and thought about it, this is like later on in the day, like it's nighttime now. No, actually it was racialized towards I. First of all, when I say I'm Australian, some people outside of Australia kind of have a difficult time being like, oh, there's black people in Australia. Yeah, there's black people in Australia, okay? Not everyone looks like Steve Irwin. In fact, it's a very multiracial country. Unless you are First Nations, everyone is living on settled lands. Everyone came from somewhere. Everyone is an immigrant. You know what I mean? It's settled land. Like, Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I think sometimes being a minority or being a black person in a predominantly white or non-black place, I just think that's kind of the burden. It's like, who are you when everyone is watching? Who are you when you're constantly being perceived through a racialized lens? You know what I mean? And I think today was kind of an example of that. And story of my life. I mean, this is probably nothing on the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, this is on the very like low end of the spectrum. I have had far more racialized and full racist like encounters that are not, that you don't have to like do mental gymnastics to like kind of try and translate. It's like, no, they were racist. I don't know. I feel like it becomes this burden of like constantly being perceived, but also becomes this burden of constantly trying to reinterpret people's actions, because sometimes the racism that's performed, especially in places like Australia, it's more like kind of like the subtle, covert kind of racism like you'd face today. Like, you know what I mean? Being followed around an op shop because, you know, you've been racialized by this old lady as someone who's going to steal in an op shop. Like, you know what I mean? It's more that kind of racism. But then sometimes when the racism is subtle like that, I feel like you are faced then with that burden of having to always reinterpret people's intentions. Like, oh, did she really mean it that way? I don't really know. And so by way of that, what can also slowly trickle in is distrust of intuition and distrust of yourself, because you're constantly always trying to reinterpret or see people's actions and intentions through a more passive lens. Like, oh, did they really mean it like that? Oh, did she really mean that when she said that? Why would he say, like, you know what I mean? It's like this is constantly playing subconsciously or consciously every single day. And so that also becomes an added tax onto the brain, you know what I mean? Even in the face of that, I've come to realize that the only sole spectator that really matters at the end of the day is myself, actually. Me. I am the audience of what? Of my own heart, of my own mind, of my own soul, of my own intentions. But I'm not going to let these projections kind of define who I am, or kind of seep into the way I see myself. Zimbabwe, when I went back at 18, when I was 18 years old, a few years ago, well, quite a few years ago now, it was like kind of the first time that I felt like this large exhale, like, oh, everyone looks like me. Like, I'm not the outlier. I'm not the different one. Like, you know what I mean? And also when we went to America as well, 2 years prior, we went to Atlanta and New York, and there it was the same exact feeling. Until I started speaking, I was kind of just like, I look like everyone else. So like, it is this added tax, this like added mental tax, you know, constantly being perceived and constantly being the minority. I know for me, I was one of 2 black girls in my entire high school experience. So you can imagine, you know, the things that I endured as well. And it's constantly like that, actually. Once again, this is totally off the cuff. Actually, I've recorded this twice now. I just recorded it before and then it like deleted it. I don't know, my laptop's annoying me. And if it deletes this, I'm not re-recording. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that deep. But I wouldn't trade it for anything else. You know what I mean? I love being black. I love being a black woman. I love existing in a black body, and I love the nuance and perspective that it brings to my life. And I'm thankful that I live in Australia. I consider myself Australian, and proudly so. And there's no one way to be Aussie at all. And it's just frustrating when you have those days where, yeah, you do feel like, oh my God, like every experience that I've had in some way has been like kind of like subtly racist. You know what I mean? Because then you do have to have that question in the back of your mind to be like, if I wasn't black, would I be treated this way? No. If I wasn't a woman, would I be treated this way? No. I'm not as eloquent. Honestly, I know I could be more eloquent, and there's a bunch of things I could touch on and everything else, but I also know that this is not an experience unique to me, and I talk about this all the time with other girlfriends, and they feel it's like the exact same kind of experience in a way, and it's frustrating, but it is what it is, you know? Yeah. Okay.